Oh yeah boy, it's Al's Kitchen, the food is finger liquid. G'day everyone, welcome back to Al's Kitchen, and today's a really exciting day because we are actually going to cook something today. It's going to be really amazing. So I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to show you what the ingredients we're going to need for this. This is going to be like a chicken bolognese taco sort of mixture that I'm making for dinner tonight, and I'd like to share it with you. Okay, for this chicken bolognese, we're going to need a celery stick, we're going to need a carrot, we're going to need a red onion, we're going to need some of these chicken oxo cubes. I've got a garlic salt blend. You can either use like salt and just some garlic fresh, but I prefer to use that. We've got smoked paprika, we've got thyme, we've got some ground cumin, and we've got some oregano leaves. Alright, so first of all, let's get this stuff all cut up, shall we? As you can see, we've got all our carrot, celery, and our red onion cut up. You can peel your carrots. I prefer not to. I find the skin gives a bit more flavour, so you can either leave or peel your carrots, up to you purely. So what we're going to do now, alright, so with our cut carrots, celery, and onion, we're gonna blend it now. I'm using a Magic Bullet or a NutriBullet. I would recommend using a food processor. It'll make it a lot easier, and I'll show you what it should look like after it's blended. Alright, so now we're going to prepare the chicken. What I recommend is using chicken thigh. It tastes so much better than chicken breast. It's only a few extra calories than chicken breast, but I've got chicken breast. Chicken breast is healthier, but chicken thigh is going to be more juicy and more tender. Anyway, I'll get this cut up. Alright, so I've got all my chicken cut up now. I've cut it in a nice size big chunks there. So what we're going to do now, we're not going to put the chicken on first. I'll show you what we're going to do. Now with our pot that's on a medium heat, we're going to add, I would recommend using canola, olive oil, but I've only got canola. I think I was going to say canola, but yeah. So I'm going to put probably about 5 tablespoons of oil. So you sort of want just a pool in the bottom of the pan. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to get our blended veggies, celery, carrot, red onion, and we're going to throw this in here, and I'll show you what we'll do next. Right, so I've thrown my blend of vegetables together, and we're just basically going to cook this very gently on a medium temperature for about 5 minutes. And that's just going to give these first part of this really good flavour. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Now while we're waiting for 5 minutes, while we're slowly cooking those veg very gently, we can either do one of two things. You can buy a pasta sauce like a passata, or you can put it together yourself in seconds. Now what I usually do is, this is really cheap. You can get diced tomatoes, throw some diced tomatoes in there, right? And you get tomato paste. And I put about half or about 3/4 of the tin of tomato paste in there as well, right? And then you can sort of season it with whatever herbs you want to use. I'm going to use basil because I've already got thyme going in for the chicken taco, so I'm going to put some basil in there. And one last thing, we're going to put a teaspoon. Now don't use raw sugar or white sugar. It's got to be brown sugar, cooking sugar. Anything tomatoey. Even I go probably half a teaspoon. Try and keep the sugars down. Half a teaspoon of brown sugar. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blend this together. And Bob's your uncle, I'm going to have a pasta sauce or a passata type sauce in a couple of seconds. One thing I forgot with the pasta sauce or passata, we just want to put a dash of oil in there. Now, I don't mean fill half the thing with oil, literally just a dash. You're much better off using olive oil too. I'm definitely going to get some this week. Canola will work though, so don't panic. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes now. Now we're going to add our chicken into the pot, and we'll just do that right. Alright, so now we've got the chicken in the pot. What we're going to do, keep the temperature on a medium, do not cook this on high. We want to mix the vegetable mix through the chicken very gently, And we're going to want to cook this for about 10 minutes or until the chicken is white and it is sealed. So about 10 minutes. Make sure you stir this quite regularly, just so it doesn't stick or burn to the bottom, which it should on a medium temperature. As you can see, I'm mixing those ingredients through real nice. We'll check back in 10 minutes and we'll go and do the next step. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes now. My chicken is fairly white and sealed. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the cup of chicken stock. Dump that straight in there. If you guys could smell this, it would just blow you away, like no joke. Now, if you're thinking, do we put the seasoning in now? No, we don't. We want to reduce it just a little bit. So we're going to wait about 5 minutes, and then we're going to season it with herbs and spices. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes now. As you can see, the stock, everything is at a bit of a boil, and don't for a minute think this is boiling chicken. It's more like stewing it in a way. So now we're going to add our herbs. We're going to start with some smoked paprika. Now what I would recommend is being very generous. Okay, very generous with the smoked paprika. I'm not using salt because I'm using garlic blend salt. So it's salt and garlic. And be very generous with that as well. Be very generous with your thyme. It will come out. Thyme and chicken, smoked paprika, they go so well together. We're also going to put some oregano in there as well. Oh, it's just smelling amazing. Now what I'd say is to be a bit, only put a small amount of cumin in there. You don't want too much cumin, so probably a teaspoon worth. Alright, let's stir that all together. You want to make sure that it's not stuck to the pieces of chicken. You don't want the chunks to be over flavored. If you could smell this right now, you would be absolutely blown away. Alright, now we've added the herbs, what we're going to do next is add a cup of water. And the cup of water is basically just to keep the chicken nice and moist. We don't want it to dry out. Just give it a quick stir through. Oh, this is looking and smelling absolutely friggin' amazing. Right, what we're going to do now is get a lid for our pot, throw it on the top. Let's forget about it for say half an hour. Alright, so we're going to come back in half an hour and then we're going to put the final touches on it. Alright guys, so it's been about half an hour now. If we have a look in there, look at that, looking beautiful. And putting the cup of water in there, you can see the bubbles. It's got plenty of liquid. Okay, so at this point we can add our passata. Mine is like a basil made from kind of scratch, not from scratch with the ingredients. Diced tomatoes, tomato paste. Have a look in there. Now what we want to do is leave the lid off for half an hour so we can let it reduce, and that'll let the sauce thicken. This is smelling absolutely amazing. If you do try this recipe, when the kitchen doesn't smell amazing, well, you've probably done something wrong. Anyway, we'll check back in another half an hour and we should be almost done. One last thing too that I did forget to put in this, and this is completely optional, but I do recommend doing it, is putting some cracked black pepper in there. Don't get that powdery stuff, get the stuff that cracks, even if it's the cheap brand. Yeah, I'm going to crack some pepper in there. I was quite generous with the pepper, you can probably see that. And this is smelling unbelievable. Oh, one last thing you can add, other than the pepper, would be chili powder. I have put a little bit of chili powder in there. So yeah, if you like it a little bit spicy, just go with chili powder. If you want something really, really spicy, go with like a hot sauce, or you know, even put like maybe habanero or something through it. But I'm just put a bit of chili powder in there because I don't want it too spicy. Alright, so now we're pretty much at the end. As you can see, the sauce is nice and thick. Now there's two things you can do with this. You can make it into like tacos, or you can just boil up some pasta and put it with pasta. What we're going to do is I'm going to make a taco with it. I'm going to show you how. Alright, so you can see the steam coming off that. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put about 1 scoop of that on there. Then we're going to put some diced up onion. So we've used red onion in the mix. We're going to top it with a bit of diced white onion. And last but not least, we're going to add some cheese. I've got some pizza cheese here. I'm just going to top it with some pizza cheese like that. Then we'll roll this bad boy up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that's going to heat the wrap up nicely. Alright, so throwing it in the microwave also, it heats the wrap up, but at the same time it's going to melt the cheese. So let's have a taste of this. Oh man, it's so hot. Whew. I'm going to have to wait a second. Try blowing on it. Try and cool it down a bit. Things you can add as well at the end if you're doing like tacos, sour cream, guacamole. It's all going to taste real good. But yeah, let's have a bite. Oh. That tastes unbelievable. Absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. Amazing. So like I said, you could make this into like chicken tacos if you wanted, or you could do a bolognese. You could do some pasta up. It would be absolutely amazing in pasta. If you guys enjoyed this video, you want to see me do more cooking on this channel, which is what I'm going to try and do, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you thought the recipe was good, like good idea. You know, you're going to have to try it yourself. Obviously, I've tasted it and it tastes absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next Al's Kitchen. Al signing out. Bye.